Buddhist teachings that can transform your life from within. Have you ever chased something, a goal, a dream, maybe even a person, thinking that once you had it, you'd finally be happy? And when you got it, maybe the joy came, for a moment. But then it slipped away. And you were off chasing the next thing. We've all been there. In a world that constantly tells us to look outside, to do more, earn more, become more, it's easy to believe that happiness is something we need to pursue, like it's just around the corner, waiting for us in the next job, the next house, the next relationship, or the next vacation. But what if that's not where happiness lives? What if happiness isn't something you find out there but something you remember, something you return to within yourself? The Buddha taught this over 2,500 years ago. That real happiness, the kind that doesn't fade when circumstances change, isn't dependent on things or achievements. It's rooted in how we think, how we act, and how we show up in the world. It's not about controlling life, it's about understanding it. And from that understanding, peace naturally arises. This video isn't about religion, and it's not here to tell you what to believe. It's an invitation. An invitation to explore a timeless wisdom that has helped millions of people across cultures and centuries live more peaceful, intentional, and joyful lives. Today, I want to share with you 19 powerful Buddhist teachings, not just as ideas, but as living practices. Simple truths that, when embraced, can gently transform the way you experience your own life. Now, you don't have to be a monk, or meditate in a cave, or give up your favorite coffee to understand these teachings. You just need a little curiosity and a willingness to look inward. These teachings aren't quick fixes or empty promises. They are not here to add more to your to-do list. They are here to strip away the noise, to bring you back to what truly matters. Because maybe, just maybe, happiness has been with you all along. You just needed to stop and notice. In this journey, we'll talk about what it really means to live in the present moment and why so many of us are trapped in the past or worried about the future. We'll explore how to let go of desires that pull us in 100 directions. How to speak in a way that heals rather than harms. And why gratitude, compassion, and simplicity aren't just virtues, but doorways to a deeper kind of peace. Each of these 19 teachings is like a mirror. They reflect back something we already know, deep down. But in the rush of daily life, we forget. We forget that we don't need to have it all figured out to feel whole. We forget that right here, in this breath, in this moment, we are enough. These teachings don't belong to any one culture or one kind of person. They are universal. They are human. And whether you're navigating anxiety, loss, a big life transition, or simply searching for more meaning, you may find something here that speaks directly to your heart. So if you've been feeling disconnected, overwhelmed, or just tired of running in circles, I invite you to pause. Not to escape life, but to enter it more fully. Let this be the beginning of a quiet shift, a return to yourself. Not the self that's defined by titles or timelines, but the deeper self. The one that already holds peace, kindness, and clarity. The teachings of the Buddha are not magic. They don't promise to remove all your problems, but they can offer you a new way to see those problems and to respond with wisdom, not reactivity. With love, not fear. With presence, not distraction. So let's take this journey together. Let's explore these 19 teachings, one by one, with open hearts and curious minds. And who knows, you might just discover that the happiness you've been searching for has been quietly waiting inside you all along. Are you ready? Let's begin. 1. Focus on the present moment. The present moment, where true happiness begins. Have you ever caught yourself reliving a conversation from days ago, replaying every word, wishing you'd said something different? Or maybe your mind jumps ahead to next week, the to-do list, the worries, the what ifs that haven't even happened yet. We spend so much of our lives either looking back or leaning forward. But in doing so, we miss the only place where life is actually happening. Right here. Right now. The Buddha once said, "Do not dwell in the past, do not dream of the future. Concentrate the mind on the present moment." Simple words. But within them lies the doorway to something we all long for, peace. We often think happiness will come after something. After the job promotion. After the kids are older. After we finally fix what's broken in our lives. But the truth is, happiness is never in the after. It's in the now. And yet, most of us live like this moment isn't enough. We carry the weight of yesterday's regrets and tomorrow's fears. So heavy that we can't even feel the lightness of today. But what if we could? What if the secret to a more joyful life isn't about fixing the past or planning the perfect future, but about simply being fully here for this breath, this step, this conversation? Mindfulness isn't just a spiritual trend, it's a return to sanity. A way of remembering that this moment, no matter how ordinary, is sacred. Think about it. Have you ever stepped outside and truly felt the sun on your face, not as background noise, but as something alive? Have you ever listened to someone you love, not just with your ears, but with your full attention, no phone, no multitasking, just presence? Those moments, they are not flashy, but they are real. And they are where happiness lives. I used to think I had to earn peace, that once I accomplished enough, managed enough, became enough, then I could rest. But it turns out, peace was never waiting at the end of my list. It was here the whole time. In the space between two breaths. In the pause before I react. In the noticing of something small, the sound of rain, the way a child laughs, the stillness between thoughts. The mind is tricky. It likes to rehearse, to ruminate, to worry. But mindfulness isn't about forcing the mind to stop, it's about training it to return. Return to the now. Again. And again. And again. And when we do, even if only for a moment, something shifts. The noise fades. And we remember. This moment is enough. Life doesn't need to be perfect to be beautiful. You don't need to be more than you already are to feel whole. You just need to show up, fully, openly, to this moment. Because this is the only place where life is ever really happening. Not in the replays. Not in the maybes. But in the now. So, let me ask you something, not as a narrator, but as a fellow traveler. What would shift in your life if you lived today as if it were the only moment that mattered? Because in truth it is. Right here. Right now. This moment, unfiltered, unedited, unplanned, is the birthplace of all peace, all joy, all clarity. And all it asks of you is to be here for it. 2. Letting go of craving. Let me ask you something personal. Have you ever wanted something so badly that it consumed your thoughts? Maybe it was a promotion, a relationship, a number on the scale, or simply more money in the bank. You thought, if I just get that, I'll be happy. But then, either you didn't get it and felt empty, or worse, you did, and still felt unfulfilled. The Buddha understood this very human pattern thousands of years ago. He didn't say, don't enjoy life. He wasn't against beauty or pleasure. But he did warn us of something deeper, more dangerous, attachment, the act of clinging, grasping, craving, and believing that we must possess something in order to be complete. One of his most powerful teachings reminds us, craving is the root of suffering. Not because we want things, wanting is natural. But because we believe our peace, our joy, our worth, depends on getting what we want. Picture this. You're holding a delicate flower in your hand. If you hold it gently, you can admire its fragrance, its colors, its grace. But what happens when you squeeze it tightly, trying to possess it, control it, never let it go? It withers. It breaks. It loses everything that made it beautiful in the first place. This is exactly what craving does to love, to goals, to life. There's a story about a wealthy man who had everything, houses, lands, servants, and status. Yet every morning, he woke up with a sense of lack. His anxiety wasn't from poverty, it came from his obsession with more. More gold. More deals. More praise. His chest always tight, his smile always strained. Because deep down, he wasn't living, he was hoarding. And every gain brought with it the fear of loss. That's the trap. We often think we are chasing joy, but what we are really doing is running away from discomfort. We try to fill the emptiness with possessions, with attention, with entertainment. But no matter how much we pour in from the outside, the cup inside remains thirsty until we realize happiness doesn't come from getting more. It comes from needing less. Letting go doesn't mean rejecting life. It means no longer depending on external things for inner peace. It's the difference between enjoying a sunset and trying to bottle the sun. Between sharing love and trying to own someone. Between setting goals and being crushed if they don't unfold the way we when everyone treats you well, when the sky is blue, when your coffee is just the right temperature. But what happens when someone cuts you off in traffic? When your coworker gossips about you? When someone close betrays your trust? In moments like these, loving kindness is no longer a sweet idea, it becomes a spiritual discipline. In Buddhist teaching, there's a word for this, metta. Often translated as loving kindness, metta is more than just being nice. It is the intentional practice of sending goodwill, compassion, and warmth not just to those we like, but to everyone, including those who challenge us the most. Imagine this, you're sitting quietly, and you begin repeating a simple phrase in your heart. May I be safe. May I be happy. May I live with ease. Then you expand it outward. May you be safe. May you be happy. May you live with ease. You say it for a loved one, for a stranger, and eventually for someone you resent. That's metta meditation. It might sound strange at first. Why would I wish peace to someone who hurt me? But here's the deeper truth, the resentment you carry doesn't hurt them. It hurts you. Anger burns in your own chest. Bitterness hardens your heart. And when you choose loving kindness, it's not about excusing bad behavior. It's about setting yourself free. Loving kindness softens the sharp edges of life. It turns strangers into companions. It even transforms how you see yourself. Because here's the part we often forget, metta starts at home. With you. With your beating heart. With all the parts of yourself you may have judged, rejected, or hidden. Think of how often we are kind to others but cruel to ourselves. We call ourselves lazy, unworthy, not good enough. But imagine whispering instead. Dear heart, I see your struggle. May you find rest. May you feel loved. The Buddha taught that a mind filled with loving kindness is like a lamp that shines in all directions. No one can stop its glow. Not even hate. Not even fear. And science, interestingly, is catching up. Research on metta meditation shows that regular practice increases empathy, emotional resilience, and even physical well-being. One study found it reduces symptoms of PTSD. Another found it can literally rewire the brain, softening the amygdala, the part that triggers fear, and strengthening areas responsible for compassion. But this isn't just a technique. It's a way of living. It means holding the door for someone with no expectation. It means choosing a gentle word when a harsh one is on the tip of your tongue. It means remembering that the person yelling at you might be hurting in ways you can't see. And yes, it also means trying, even if awkwardly, to send a small prayer of peace to someone you think doesn't deserve it. Because the moment you do that, you break the cycle. You say, I will not be another echo of pain. I choose something better. So today, I invite you, pause. Breathe. And in the quiet of your own mind, send out a wish. May I be well. May you be well. May we all be free from suffering. Not because it's easy, but because it's powerful. Because it heals you. And through you, it begins to heal the world. 18. Understanding the law of karma, why every action matters. Have you ever wondered why some people seem to carry peace with them wherever they go, while others seem trapped in an endless storm of frustration, regret, or restlessness? Sometimes it looks like life is just random, that good people suffer and bad people get away with everything. But in the teachings of the Buddha, there's a deeper understanding. Nothing happens without a cause. Everything, from your deepest joy to your most subtle worries, has roots. This is what we call karma, the law of cause and effect. Let's pause here and really think about it. Every thought you think, every word you say, every small action, they are all seeds. And these seeds, like anything planted, will grow. They may bloom tomorrow, next year, or even in another season of your life, but the law is simple: what you sow is what you reap. This is not about punishment or reward from some external force. Karma is not fate. It's about responsibility, radical responsibility for the energy you put out into the world. If you sow anger, you harvest more conflict. If you plant compassion, kindness grows, not just in others, but in your own heart. Imagine this: you are in a long line at the grocery store, someone cuts in front of you. Instinct might tell you to snap or glare. But if you've been cultivating patience, you pause. You breathe. You smile. That moment of restraint. That's karma in action. You're not just avoiding conflict, you're creating inner peace. Or maybe it's how you speak to your partner after a long day. Do you choose sarcasm or kindness? Dismissiveness or presence? Karma begins there in those small, seemingly invisible choices. So ask yourself, what kind of seeds am I planting today? Am I reacting from habit or responding with awareness? Because here's the beautiful truth, you have the power to shift your future by changing your present. One of the most empowering aspects of karma is that it puts the power back in your hands. You are not a victim of your past. Even if you've made mistakes, hurt others, or lost your way, you can plant new seeds now. Seeds of honesty, forgiveness, discipline, generosity. And the more you understand this law, the more mindful you become, not just of what you do, but how you think. What you think eventually becomes what you say. What you say becomes what you do. And what you do becomes your life. The Buddha once said, with our thoughts, we make the world. So if your world feels chaotic, maybe it's time to begin at the root, your mind, your intentions. Let me share something personal. There was a time I used to blame others for my stress, my disappointments, even my failures. But the more I studied this teaching, the more I realized I was giving away my power. Because when you blame others, you can't change. But when you say, this is my karma, and I can shift it, you reclaim your freedom. Think about that. Freedom doesn't always mean doing whatever you want. Real freedom is choosing your response. Real freedom is knowing that your future is not written, it's growing with every mindful choice. So today, as you go through your routine, try asking, is this action planting peace or pain? Is this word coming from love or from fear? And most importantly, what kind of life do I want to harvest? Because life is not happening to you. It's unfolding through you. And karma. Karma is simply the echo of that unfolding. 19. Non-judgment and radical acceptance. Have you ever caught yourself judging someone, maybe a stranger, a loved one, or even yourself, before you even realized what you were doing? One glance. One comment. One thought. It happens so fast. And yet, the impact it leaves on our inner world can be deep and lasting. The Buddha didn't teach us to eliminate judgment through force. He didn't say, stop judging, or else. Instead, he gently invited us to see, to observe without clinging, without resistance. To witness what arises in the mind, not to get caught in it. Not to label it good or bad, worthy or unworthy, but to meet it with open awareness. Just see things as they are, the Buddha taught. Don't add to them. Don't subtract from them. Just see. It sounds simple. But in practice, it requires a profound shift. Think about how often we suffer, not because of what is, but because of what we think it should be. We judge someone's tone and assume they are disrespectful. We judge our body and decide we are not lovable. We judge our past and condemn ourselves for not knowing better. But what if we let go of the need to always evaluate? What if we gave ourselves and others the freedom to simply be? This doesn't mean becoming passive or indifferent. It means moving from reaction to reception. From resistance to presence. From control to compassion. When we release the habit of judgment, something remarkable happens, our heart softens. We begin to understand that everyone, including ourselves, is on a journey. Everyone is carrying invisible burdens. Everyone is doing the best they can, given what they know and what they've experienced. And suddenly, the person who once irritated us becomes a mirror, showing us where we are still tight, where we are still holding on. Let me ask you something, who in your life do you find hardest to accept? Is it a parent who never showed up the way you needed? A friend who let you down? A stranger whose beliefs challenge your own? Or is it you? When we judge, we place ourselves in opposition to the moment, to the world, to ourselves. But acceptance is the bridge that brings us back. Acceptance is not approval. It's not saying, this is fine. It's saying, this is what is, and I choose to meet it with clarity and care. Think of it like this, if you're caught in a storm, you don't deny the rain. You don't shout at the clouds. You take shelter, you adapt, you move with reality. That's what radical acceptance allows us to do. It frees us from the exhausting fight against what already is.